Alright, welcome back to Hero-Villain Mashup, a segment where I basically take a hero and villain and basically mash it up of what would it be like if this villain was that hero's member of his rogues gallery. And today I got a fun one, because this is one I've talked about a few times, and I've never really, I've talked about it a few times, and I've talked about, this would be a fun story to write, but I've never really had a chance to really talk about it. And that is, Tarzan and Dracula. So yeah, Tarzan and Dracula. I've talked about, how I'd always love to write this as a full thing of, Dracula coming to Africa before the events of the original novel and encountering Tarzan in Africa. Yeah. I'm surprised, Dynamite. Why haven't you done this? Why hasn't, Dynamite Comics done this? They have the comic rights to Tarzan, and, they do Dracula comics all the time, so why haven't we gotten Tarzan versus Dracula? Anyway, so what would it be like if the Lord of the Apes fought the Lord of the Vampires? What would that be like? What would that ensue? So, how I imagine how I imagine it is that Dracula would come to Africa to seek out, a new land. He has come to seek out a new land, and it would mirror very much, of that era of a lot of European powers that came to Africa to basically plunder it and oppress the African natives and take their land, basic European shit. Basic European white people shit. And Dracula would do that because A, no one's gonna bother him, B, there's a lot of places to hide in Africa, and C, no one's gonna, for the rest of Europe, no one's gonna care if a bunch of natives go missing. That's how Dracula would see it. That's definitely how Dracula would see it. He'd be I could go down there and feed on everybody. I could make my own private army and no one would come to stop me. That's the best part. He could, in theory, he could make his own vampire nation in Africa. Now, you may be thinking already, well, Tarzan wouldn't stand a chance against Dracula. He's just a normal human being. Does anyone remember, Dr. Van Helsing was I know my hair is just a total mess. Pandemic got me fucked up. So, I know, I'm messing with it a lot, and that's just going to be a tick, because, Jesus Christ, I need a haircut. Fucking pandemic got me fucked up with the haircuts. Anyway. So, like I was saying, Tarzan, you may be thinking, well, he's a normal human being. There's no way he could take on Dracula. And to which I say, well, Van Helsing was, in his 60s in the original novels, so you have to take that into account as well. The other major thing you have to look at is that Tarzan is no normal human being. Lord Greystoke, that's, his title. Lord Greystoke is a, excellent hand-to-hand fighter. He has above-human strength, speed, and agility. And honestly, I think Dracula would not look at him like a threat in the beginning. He would not look at him as a credible threat to his to his plans. He would look at him like, you're just another human being, dude, in a loincloth. What do you even do? You're a fucking savage compared to me. You are nothing but a animal in the presence of royalty. That's how Dracula would see it. And then he would get his ass punched in the face by Tarzan. He'd be like, you're fucking dead, dude. And that's how I see it, is that that Tarzan would just, Dracula would undermine, Tarzan. He would, underestimate him. He would be like, you're nothing. You're a savage who lives out in the jungle. I am more human than you. That kind of, that posh European aristocracy to him would just get in the way, and Tarzan would be like, yeah, I may be human, but I am no monster. And that would be the main crux of this rivalry, if Dracula and Tarzan were enemies. Dracula is a monster who parades as a man, whereas Tarzan is viewed as a monster or an animal, but he is a man. He is very much a human, more human than Dracula, who despite all of his veneer and charm and charisma, he is essentially still a monster. He is very much a monster that would be seen as an invader to Tarzan's land. He would like that would be the other thing. And I think at some point, like Dracula would realize that Tarzan is no, slouch, and he would try to be like, look, listen, dude, let's just talk it out. You're a noble like me, Let's talk it out like humans. Let's talk it out like, let's talk this out like nobles. Because yes, Tarzan is technically, he is of noble blood of Europe, of London. So I think when Dracula hears about that, he would be like, let's converse. Let's converse like humans. And Tarzan would be like, not my jungle. So that would be the thing, is that Dracula, I think, after initially encounter him, he'd be like, okay, Lord Greystoke, here's the deal. I'm not your enemy. I'm more like, we're both of aristocratic, noble blood. Are you really gonna care if I take some of these people away? Like, they're just gonna get exploited by another European power. They're better off with me. And to which Tarzan's like, I'm gonna put a spear through your goddamn heart. So that would be the thing. And also, the other thing is that Tarzan Dracula would just keep underestimating Tarzan over and over again. He would be very much like, this dude is, you're like, this dude's an animal. He's just a man who's masquerading as, he's an animal in a man's skin. I am a true nobleman. And the other thing is, Dracula could definitely exploit, some of, especially Jane. He could definitely exploit Jane. Could you imagine, him converting Jane into a vampire to use against Tarzan? Yeah. The other thing is that Tarzan has great willpower to him. So he could easily, I would have it, maybe Dracula, when he's trying to hypnotize Tarzan, Tarzan, is starting to go, and then his willpower just breaks through, and he's like, Vlad's like, oh, shit, what the fuck? So, I think, the other thing is that both would be very intelligent, and if it's Dracula coming to Africa, then, he would be in Tarzan's jungle. He would be in his kingdom. So, that would be another major thing, is that, he is called the Lord of the Apes for a reason. So I would love to do if this could be a comic I could write. This would straight up be Dracula getting caught in a trap, and all these gorillas just start coming at him. Just this image of Tarzan Dracula trying to fight off apes, just a bunch of apes, and then here comes Tarzan swinging on a vine, just hitting Dracula. And it's like, what the shit, dude? So that would be it would just be a battle of these two people who are viewed differently. Like I said earlier a little earlier in this video, is that Dracula is a monster who thinks himself this aristocratic figure who has this veneer and this superiority, again, very much at the time of that kind of white European noble shit. And Tarzan, who is of that same line, but he views himself more of a man than anything else. So it's just this great dichotomy between these two characters, which again, I am shocked we have never gotten a novel, because they're both Tarzan is sadly not in public domain. It's weird. It's kind of like Kong, where he's in public domain, but not at the same time. But Dracula is public domain, so I'm shocked no one has done a Tarzan versus Dracula story. I will one day write that story. I swear one day I'm going to do that story, but not as a fan fiction. I want to do it as a legit novel. This is not something fan fiction. This would one day be something I would do as a legit thing. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of the idea of Tarzan and Dracula being enemies? Just comment below, let me know, and yeah, I know it's Christmas Eve, and you'd be thinking, oh, why aren't you doing a holiday video, Multi? Bitch, you don't know me. If you think I'm going to just do something out of the ordinary, you don't fucking know me at all, or this channel. But, yeah. So just comment below, let me know, and once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.